What's going on, guys? It's Hajimoto, and we've got the Hatsan Bullmaster here. Be right back, we'll tell you all about it. What's going on, people? It's Hajimoto, and today I'm going to share with you my Hatsan Bullmaster, a 22 caliber semi-automatic beast that puts more lead down range than anything you've ever seen in an air rifle. This rifle comes in at a hefty 10.7 pounds. The overall length of the rifle is 30.9, might as well say 31 inches long. The unit has rotary magazines that come with very similar to like what's on the Marauders and other rotary magazines, the Gauntlet, spring-loaded carousel style. The unit has a Picatinny rail and weaver at the top. It's a weaver 11mm dovetail weaver combo. It also has a small piece of rail on the front for a bipod or a laser or flashlight, if you should so choose to do that. It comes with 3 magazines with it, and they have neat little provisions right in the stock here, so you can put your extras right in the stock, one on the right and one here on the left, so that you can, with a full magazine in it plus the others, you have 36 rounds carrying it around with you as you walk around. The rifle is said by Hatsan to get over 1,000 feet per second with a lead pellet, and that holds true. Anything under a 15 grain or even a 16 grain will do about 1,000 to 1,100 feet. But at that speed, it's a little unstable. So I found that 18 grains really shoot well out of this. The rifle itself is typical Hatsan, heavy. The weight is, because it's a bullpup, is towards the rear. We've got an adjustable cheek comb here that you can raise up and down, but because it's a bullpup, you already have the scope high enough as it is. When you look at the center of the bore to the center of the scope, it already got a decent elevation to it. The anti-knock system that's in here, so it doesn't waste air, works really, really well. The Hatsan says that in this 22 caliber, you should get about 120 shots from it. I don't know, that sounds a little... it starts to slide off at around 50 to 60 shots. You could shoot it all the way down to the amount of shots they say, but I think the accuracy, you start chasing the ballistic drop. It starts falling more and more and more. So what I do is after about the 5th mag, I stop, refill it, and get it back to where I like it. The one thing about the rifle, there's 2 things that I don't really like about the rifle. Well, first, it's got a manual safety, which obviously you have to have a manual safety on a rifle like this. It's semi-automatic. Every time it's shot, if it put safety on, kind of defeat the purpose. 500cc air reservoir. The unit gets filled to 250 bar, which is 3,500 psi in it, so it's got a good supply and volume of air. That works well. The thing I don't like is the trigger is extremely long and hard. It's very, very long and hard to me. So I'm going to be taking this apart and seeing if I can't check the linkage out and somehow modify it to be a little lighter, a little smoother. It's just way, way too long. One of the other things is one of my pet peeves, which is fill probes. It's another fill probe. It is the Hatsan typical, so if you have Hatsan products and you already have some probes, you're good to go because it's the same fill probe on it. Today I'm going to be firing this downrange and shooting a few different pellets through it. JSBs, which are always my go-to pellet, starting with the 25-39s. We'll be shooting those. I won't start with those, but those are going to be part of it. The 18s, typical 18s, and then a couple of the H&N pellets, which always seem to do well in Hatsan products. The Field Trophies and also the Barracuda Hunters. We're going to send those downrange. In today's evaluation of this, I'm not going to even bother starting at 25 yards, 30 yards, 35 yards, 40. I'm going to start at 50. A rifle like this, that's really what it's going to be for. That's the average person's going to be using it for. Anything under that, it's going to be closer. We all know that. So we'll get it at 50, get some lead down range, and we'll show you what she can do. A rifle like this gives a whole new meaning to trigger discipline, and I think you'll see that today. They're all over the place. Okay. Next, Barracuda Hunters. 18.21. For this one, we're going to go for the middle target. Much better group. Now, JSB Exact Jumbo Heavies, 18.13 grain. Same point of aim. Top right target. Now we're shooting the JSB Exact Jumbo Monsters, 25.39. Same point of aim, bottom right target. Okay guys, because the JSBs work the best, the 18 grains, we're going to put in a mag and we're going to shoot down there on the bottom left target. And I'm going to shoot rapid fire, all 12. Bottom left hand target. Not a bad group at 50 yards, rapid fire. It never gets old. Some final thoughts on the Bullmaster. I find myself doing that a lot. And the reason that I'm doing that is because the Bull Boss is probably one of my favorite bullpups of all time. Right up until I started shooting the Bullmaster. There's no doubt that this thing is designed for someone that has the ability to fill this tank, 500cc tank, over and over again. This definitely would not be something, if someone has a hand pump, they have to do this manually to fill it. By no means would this be good for someone like that. And it shouldn't be someone made for someone that's looking on a limited budget on feeding pellets into this thing. But I just want to talk about that for 1 second. Semi-automatics tend to get a bad reputation because just because it's a semi-automatic doesn't mean you have to do what I just did. You don't have to fire rapid like that. The nice convenience of a semi-automatic is you can have great follow-up shots. You can keep your eye on the target. So when you shoot, miss once, you're still on the target. You can get that second shot in if you need to. Plinking, it makes plinking or rapid fire on targets in a least amount of time something that's effortless as compared to a bolt action. Don't get me wrong, I'm a bolt action fan. I love them. I love them a lot. But this is a whole different game. Completely different game. As I started out in this video talking about the pluses and the minuses of this rifle, it's kind of subjective. To one person that thinks that this is heavy, another person probably will say it's not that bad. So you have to find out for yourself. Me personally, the things that I am definitely going to do to this rifle is I'm going to tune this. I'm going to put some Hajimoto love on it. I'm going to hogenate this rifle and see if I can't get more power out of it. Hatsans are notorious for being underpowered out of the box, and I want to wring all the power I can out of this thing. The other thing that I'm definitely doing, and I don't know if the video picked up on it, is the amount of trigger strength it takes for this trigger to completely pull back. It's much too hard, and I think I'm going to change the trigger shoe to something a little more comfortable on the finger. All in all, I could not be happier with this rifle. Since I've had it, I've already taken at least 12 squirrels, and the state of Massachusetts changed the regulations and opened up raccoon season. It's a lot longer this year. Started on October 1st and runs all the way through January. So that means I've gotten over 5 with this, and I'll be putting some video footage together, some nighttime video footage, which I'll share with you guys, and those shots were taken with this rifle. Also, from a medium-sized game like a raccoon down to a small-sized pest like a mouse, this thing just does work. It puts in the work. As you saw in the groups, the heavier pellets, which I would have assumed would have done a lot better in this, really didn't do that well at all. And the lighter pellets, like the trophies from H&N, they did terrible. They're too short. I think the pellet's too short in order to get a stable flight. Here in Massachusetts, fall is quick approaching, and as you can tell behind me and by what you can hear, the weather is deteriorating quickly. We've got a front moving in, which means being out here and being able to do these reviews and shoot is coming to a close real quick because there's going to be snow on the ground. It's going to be minus 20 degrees soon. That being said, I appreciate all of you with your support, your comments, and watching my videos. And I will be putting more together with this and share them with you in the future. I just want to take a second to talk to some of the shooters out there in the community that are doing things to promote our sport. Chris Turek, UpNorthAirgunner, got mad respect for you, man, and what you're doing in trying to get the sport to move to a more recognized professional organization. While you personally aren't the one that's the corporate organization behind it, you're doing a lot to move that forward. Another person would be Rick Ream, the shooter 1721. While Rick does phenomenal shots, those two guys, Chris and Rick, are doing the backyard shootout. Essentially, you called me out, so I'm going to do the same thing. But I'm going to do my shootout with this. And I'm going to see if I can't get it down really, really quick. Unlike Rick, who does his with no sights at all and just, you know, kind of closes his eyes and just takes the shot. I'm going to actually use the scope, so hopefully that's acceptable. Again, guys, thank you very much for your support. Thank you for viewing this video, and y'all be chilly. So there we go, my air gun brethren. Another video done. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it greatly and look forward to your comments below. Thanks for stopping by.